Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Frel, your professor. Hello class, good morning. Today we will be discussing curriculum leadership. But first, we are going to define these two terms, curriculum and leadership. Leadership is the role a leader plays in helping to enable the school community to achieve its goals, while curriculum are all the experiences that the learners go through in a program of education. So, in that, the school takes responsibility for all these planned experiences. And curriculum leadership pushes those in the school to exercise functions that enable the achievement of the goal, that is to provide quality education to the learners. So with this class, leadership focuses both on what is being learned, or that is the curriculum, or the subjects that comprise the course of the study, and how this curriculum is being taught. We call that the instruction. And now, what are the role and functions of a curriculum leader? First, as a curriculum leader, you need to know how curriculum design informs instructional design. Curriculum design is the planning period where instructors organize the instructional units of the course. This also involves the planning activities, the readings or the lessons, and the assessment that achieve educational goals. Or in short, it is the entire process of analyzing the process of analysis of the learning needs and goals, and the development of a delivery system in order to meet those needs. And with this, Blackthorne in 1997 provides us a list of essential functions of curriculum leadership that is being carried out at the school and at the classroom levels. Now we have the roles and functions of curriculum leader. One is to develop the school's vision of quality curriculum. When I say quality curriculum, this is one that is built on high expectations and are aligned with the standards. Second is for the leader to make sure that the school goals supplement the national or divisional educational goals. And third is to develop the school's own program of activities and develop also some learning-centered schedule. Another is to determine the nature and extent of curriculum integration. Integrated curriculum is one that connects different areas of study by cutting across subject matter lines and emphasizing unifying concepts. And class by integration, this is making connections for students and allowing the students to engage in some relevant, meaningful activities that can be connected to their real life situations. Then another role is to align the curriculum. When I say curriculum alignment, this is the process which educators across all levels formally evaluate a course or an educational program in order to address changing needs of students and that of the workplace. And then we have the role to monitor and assist in the curriculum implementation. And now we have the major task of curriculum leadership. One is ensuring curriculum quality and applicability. Second, integrating and aligning the curriculum. third is implementing the curriculum efficiently and effectively. Fourth is regularly evaluating, enriching, and updating the curriculum. Next is develop yearly planning calendars for operationalizing the curriculum. And then develop units of study, enrich the curriculum and remediate learning. And last is to evaluate the curriculum. Now we have the challenges in practicing curriculum leadership. Number one is the fast-paced change that impact the curriculum. This is one of these challenges. Because of these changes, it is really difficult for us to adapt to these changes. The second is the curriculum design that is unresponsive to local needs. There are instances where the curriculum that are being laid down to us is not responsive to what is within the locality that the school is implementing. Then third is lack of resources for proper implementation of curriculum content. This is also one of the problems or the challenges faced by the leaders, where they do not have enough resources in order to properly implement the content of the curriculum. Then another is lack of organizational support. There are instances where the teachers or the curriculum leaders are really eager in order to implement some changes in the curriculum. However, due to lack of organizational support, they cannot do so at a fast pace. Then another class is the lack of freedom and authority to exercise leadership roles, because sometimes our leaders are also hand-tied because of policies that limits their authority to exercise these leadership roles. Then another is being overburdened with varied administrative functions. Our leaders play different roles in our schools. Because of these varied administrative functions, sometimes the tasks overlap that they were not able to perform their role as curriculum leaders at best. Then another challenge is the inadequate reward system. Our curriculum leaders are also claiming that they do not receive enough or adequate reward system for all the sacrifices and efforts that they extend to the school regarding the implementation of the curriculum. And last is the unfavorable school and school district policies. As I said earlier class, there are some policies that limits or the role played by or the authority given to our leaders, and at the same time there are also situations which are not favorable to our leaders in performing their task. Okay, now class, we also have this what we call digital curriculum leadership. So next to professional development, this is maybe the most vague catchphrase that is being thrown around in educational circle. Any digital media that teachers and students use for learning falls under this digital curriculum leadership. This may include a portfolio of electronic resources as opposed to the traditional one, or as opposed to textbooks. These are being composed of blogs, of wikis, Twitter, journalism artifacts, of video or audio recordings, real-time digital collaborations such as Skype, and other projects and personal learning networks of students that are used for engaging, for instructing, and for assessing students and staff. So in our current situation in education, this is the widely used form of leadership by different schools, particularly in the higher education. Now, class, we have instructional leadership. This encompasses those actions that the principal takes or delegates to others to promote growth in student learning. This comprises, of course, defining the purpose of schooling and setting school-wide goals. Also, providing resources needed for learning to occur and supervising and evaluating teachers or coordinating staff development programs and or creating collegial relationships with and among teachers. Instructional leadership class also refers to anything that school leaders do to improve teaching and learning in the school. It focuses on learning and its promotion. So this is why instructional leaders are also called learning leaders. So my question now, class, is who play the role of instructional leadership? This is being played by both instructional leader and administrative manager, because the school head shall also form a team with the school teachers or learning facilitators for every delivery of quality instructional programs or projects and services, and a core of non-teaching staff shall handle the school's administrative, fiscal, and auxiliary services. So now, class, there are several rules of instructional leaders. One is, of course, to improve teaching and learning. Another is to lead the setting the school vision and formulating the strategies. He will also be a resource provider and an instructional resource provider, and also has to provide a visible presence in the school. So meaning the instructional leaders have to be present in the school from time to time. He is also expected to understand the effective practices or the best practices in the school. He will be the one to define the school mission and have to understand effective practices in curriculum, in instruction, and in assessment, and has to promote and participate in the teacher learning and environment, and has to make sure that there is a supportive and orderly environment in the school, and has to understand effective pedagogy. So with all of these rules, class of an instructional leaders, such a leader should be a master of all of these rules, and by that he has to learn everything about this task. So by that, at this present time, they are called the 21st century instructional leader, and their role as such a leader should be a visionary, has to be an instructional leader, as we have discussed earlier, has to be an influencer, and at the same time he has to be a learner. So meaning he has to have a clear-cut vision of where the school is going, what kind of product the school is producing, and what will be the place of the school compared to the rest of the schools in the country and of the world. As an instructional leader, he has to understand, he has to know the ins and outs of the activities in the school, and as an influencer, has that ability to make other teachers or his subordinates follow his instructions and work with him and attaining the mission or the vision of the school. And the last is the leader should also be a learner. He should not be contented with what he has. He has to learn as he lives. And in doing so, there are 5 tools and methods of instructional leadership. One is expect, second is inspect, third is direct, fourth is respect, and fifth is reflect. So class, these tools are very common to us. And these are the tools and methods that leader can use in performing his task. And these are the focus of instructional leadership. One is supervision, we have curriculum, then we have assessment, instruction, technology, culture and climate, professional development, and school improvement. When I say focus on supervision, this answers the question what instructional leaders have to understand, what they need to know and be able to do, and how supervision demands are similar and are different for the 21st century instructional leadership, and what obstacles and opportunities for instructional leaders to develop and maintain with confidence. And when we say focus on the curriculum, this is how teachers develop, monitor, evaluate, and or revise the curriculum for how classroom use, and also the role of the instructional leaders in this process is included, and the characteristics of an ideal curriculum for the 21st century student. And when I say focus on assessment, this is how instructional leaders can monitor assessment in the respective schools, and also the challenges that teachers face when they are assessing the student learning, and the characteristics of effective assessment. So like for instance, in what we are doing today, it is really very challenging for your teachers on how they are going to make a fair assessment regarding your learning. Then we have focus on instruction, on how instruction leaders communicate their expectations about classroom instruction, and how they encourage teachers reflection about their instructional practices, and if there's a need for them to make some changes regarding their practices, and how they inspect the instructional environment in order to determine if there's the prevalence of research-supported instructional practices. And when we say focus on technology, these are the forms of technology being used in the classroom of the school. And like for today, instead of having classes by face-to-face, we are using the Google Classroom, we have the Zoom, we have the webinars. Those are forms of those are processes that your teachers are using with the aid of the technology. Then another is teacher preparation to integrate the technology within the content area of instruction. So if you have observed class, almost all of your activities are now integrated using technology. And another is the component and the current status of the school's technology plan in order to address some areas that needs changes. So the school or schools are also trying its best to at least equip with all the technology necessary to carry out the instruction in as mandated by the curriculum. Then we have the focus on culture and climate. So these are actually the factors influencing the development of respectful and productive culture and climate for teachers. So how leaders can create and sustain a productive school norms with motivated and inspired teachers. So the school have to make sure that the teachers are motivated to do their task and they are inspired to teach their students. Then another is how these leaders become and remain credible leaders despite our situation today. Then we have the focus on professional development. This pertains class to the factors that influences effective professional development and also those that promotes sustainable change in teachers' practices. Okay, so we need to assist also the teachers in their effective professional development. And the role of the instructional leaders here is to ensure that policies and practices are in place for the school-based professional development of the teachers. So they have to have their professional development plan and how to build capacity and local expertise in best instructional and professional development practices. So instructional leaders have to assist its teachers in building their capacity or expertise for them to be best in their discharge of their functions as facilitators of learning. Then last is the focus on school improvement. These are ways where instructional leaders involve teachers in the school improvement process. How the school monitors progress and celebrate accomplishment of improvement goals. So the school improvement efforts that have been successful in the school and why they have to do this. These are all the focus of the improvement in school that instructional leaders have to undertake. Okay, class, so that would be all for this topic, curriculum leadership. And for your activity, please create a realia of an instructional leader that you wish to be in the future. Have it photographed and send it to the Google Classroom. Okay, so again, thank you for watching. See you in our next video.